What's up, Math 8? Today we are going to do the 8.2 video lesson, which is about cones. 8.0 we did prisms and rectangular prisms and cubes. 8.1 we did cylinders, and today's cones. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and jump into it. So just a heads up, this is on page 598. If you're going to be following along in the book. But really the first and most important thing for us today is that the volume for a cone is 1/3 the base times the height. And this is the same formula that we used for a cylinder. All right, but the difference is instead of that, we've got volume equals 1/3 the base times the height. Okay, so a way you can kind of look at that to see it a little bit is if we turn this, let's zoom it in. If we turn this into a cylinder, kind of as best we can, okay, you can kind of see that we are missing about 2/3 of the cylinder, right? We're missing, here's a third, and here's a third over here. And then we're just left with the blue stuff, right? So that's kind of where you can kind of see that's where that formula comes from. All right, so but it's very similar really as far as the formula itself goes. We have volume equals 1/3 the base times the height, and again I prefer to use volume equals 1/3 and then pi r squared, or the area of a circle, which would be our base in this case, and then multiply that times the height. All right, so it's just that one extra little complexity from the volume of a cylinder. All right, but overall not a huge difference between the two. All right, so let's go ahead and look at example 1 here. Okay, we're going to try to find the volume of this cone. All right, I'm not going to redraw it just because I think it's easier just to look at that picture without having to look at my my artistic failures. All right, so just as a reminder, our formula is volume equals 1/3 times pi r squared times the height. Okay, and then I'm just going to plug in all the values that I know. All right, so we still have pi, we still have 1/3, and then instead of r, we're going to use the radius, which is 3. And the height will go in for h, and the height is 6. Okay, just like with cylinders, I now need to do this, find the square first. That's my first step. And we have 9 times 6 there. Okay, and then I'm going to do 1/3 pi. I'm just going to simplify. 9 times 6 is 54. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to find 1/3 of 54, so I'm going to divide that by 3, and that should give us 18. All right, so then we'll have 18 times pi, and you'll type that into your calculator. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, obviously, so that is going to be 56.5 inches cubed is going to be our solution for the volume on this cone. And that's it. All right, so once you've got that down, I want you to try out Got It Problem A. And you don't need to do Got It Problem B. I just want you to do Got It Problem A for now. And then we're going to go ahead and move on. All right, so we're going to look now. This is example 3 on the next page, 599. Okay, and we're going to look at this cylinder along with this cone, look at them together. Okay, so you're going to see, like I said, we've got a cylinder and a cone. We've got to find the area of the whole thing. All right, so just as a reminder, we've got for our cylinder, the volume equals the base times the height, or pi r squared times the height. And then for our cone, we have V equals 1/3 pi r squared times the height. All right, so really similar. Like I said, the only difference is that 1/3 for the cone. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the cylinder portion, and it shows that our radius is going to be, well, first of all, it tells us our diameter is 8 feet, right? So because the diameter is 8 feet, again, we divide that by 2. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. So our radius for the cylinder will be 4. And then our height will also be 4. Okay? And then we can go ahead and move on to the cone. Now, the 8 feet here is also going to tell us that from here to here, if you can see those dots, those are also, or that's also going to be our diameter, is 8 feet. All right, so that means, once again, our radius is 4 feet. Okay, so I'm going to plug in 4 here for R. And then our height is right here. That's going to be 5. All right. So now, just like we did yesterday, we're going to go ahead and simplify these and then add them together to find our total volume. All right. So here we have pi times 16 times 4. And for the cone, we have 1/3 pi times 16 times 5. All right. Then I'm going to simplify a little bit further. 16 times 4 should give us 64. And then we have 16 times 5. That should give us, I believe that's 80. Okay. And then at this point, I'm going to go ahead and type both of these into my calculator because 80 can't be divided perfectly by 3. So I'm going to type those into my calculator. Okay, so I typed them in, and I rounded to the nearest hundredth. All right, and this is what I got. I got 200.96 for the volume of the cylinder and 83.73 for the volume of the cone. And now I need to add those together. All right, so once again, I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to add those together, and I am going to get 284.69. All right, and that was in feet. So we have feet cubed, and that is it for our volume of that composite figure that has the cylinder and the cone. All right. So yeah, that's it for that problem. I want you to go ahead and try out Got It Problem D. This one's a little bit different just because instead of a cone and a cylinder, you just have 2 cones, all right? So you're going to use the same formula for both parts. It's just going to be different size of the cones, all right? And then once you have finished this Got It problem, that's going to be it for this video. So it's only about 8.5 minutes long for this video, but the Got It problems might take you a little bit longer, so that's okay. So just make sure you get those done. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. But that's it, and I will see you in class.